The initial launch of the Switch 2 was truly exciting for me. I was ready for the next generation and the new console. The Switch 2 was announced to be a low-key powerhouse. It was capable of 4K and 120 frames per second, and that met my wishes for it. Fast forward 4 months later, and man, this is kinda rough, I'm not gonna lie. My channel does give off the vibe of a Nintendo fanboy, but that isn't true. If I see a problem, I will call it out. There are many issues I have with this generation, and I wanted to share my perspective. A studious dude who has a feud with Nintendo's attitude towards the future. Even though I did buy the Switch 2, the price does feel too high. Throughout history, Nintendo was seen as an affordable gaming option. In the past, they had things like $99 GameCubes, DS and 3DS bundles with games that were the launch price of the console. They even had an $80 2DS bundle with Mario Kart 7. Even though the OG Switch was $300, that was understandable, and it was still cheaper than the current gen Xbox Series X and PS5. Fast forward to now, and boy, we are not cooking. During the Switch 2 Direct, where they showed off the system and everything we could expect, they decided to leave out how much the Switch would cost. When fans finished the Direct and went to see the cost, they found out it was $450 by itself, a jump of 50% compared to the previous Switch. What was even more crazy is that the Japanese language only Switch 2 was about $340. The console isn't even that powerful when comparing it to the immensely powerful PS5 and Xbox Series X, yet Nintendo still decided that it was worth almost the same amount as these consoles, as long as you don't live in Japan. Now, there are a plethora of reasons as to why this is the case, but I will name two. First of all, the current Nintendo presidents of Japan and America are both just business suits. Furukawa, the president of Nintendo of Japan, had a background in banking and finances. Even worse, Doug Bowser, the president of Nintendo of America, came from fucking EA, one of the most scummy companies around. The same company that was voted the worst company in America twice, in 2012 and 2013, while placing 5th place in 2018. They are okay with pushing out the same game every year, literally with glitches and stuff to the brim with microtransactions. And this guy was the choice to succeed Reggie? I mean, come on, this dude's name is Deadass Bowser, and you think Nintendo fans aren't going to have an issue? These two dudes are a stark contrast to only had Reggie in America and Iwata in Japan. These guys had personality, it seemed like they cared for the consumer, and they even bothered to show themselves in public in press events and the directs that Iwata himself created. It fully appears as though these ultra-rich execs are comfortable glancing at their consumers from an ivory tower. Nintendo lost the faces of their company, and now we have to put up with these scummy puppet masters running the show, who can't even bother to show themselves unless it's a shareholders meeting. This isn't even mentioning Nintendo's notorious policy of nuking any person or platform that doesn't have their licensing. But don't worry, we'll get into that later. I feel the Switch was too successful and it validated a change in the company's interests, which led to this overpriced console we get now. How disappointing. What makes things even worse is that this shift didn't stop at the console itself. Nintendo first got a little crazy with game prices when they launched The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. For the entire Switch generation, the first party games were priced at $60 until this game launched at $70. What do we think, boys? New AirPods are a video game. They defended this price by saying it wasn't the norm and would apply to only really big video games like Zelda. Alright, fair enough. Fast forward to the Switch 2, and the premier new Mario Kart game came out alongside it. You know what? Mario Kart is a pretty big franchise, but $60 is a fair price. $80 fucking dollars? Are we serious? No first party or massive third party had the audacity to launch an $80 game, but here comes Nintendo pulling this shit. Maybe we can get some fucking AirPods Pro now, I guess, I don't know. What's worse is that they strip back features from Mario Kart World like 200cc or even standard fucking racing. You have to play the intermissions. While they are pretty cool, most people just want to play 3-lap tracks, and you have to go in a Google Journal just to find it. It's like paying for surgery and they decide to test a new procedure they just invented on a whim. Fuck that! Donkey Kong Bonanza would release a month later for $70, and I guess that's excusable. It is one of the best platformers from Nintendo, and it essentially transposed a 3D Mario game for the launch. But the DLC? Hell no! Nintendo doesn't give a fuck about them poor kids no more. They dropped a $20 DLC with a small DK Island and an Emerald Run mode. Both of these could have been post-game content like the Mushroom Kingdom and Luigi Balloon World in Mario Odyssey. The fact this DLC came out 2 months later makes me think they took this shit out and charged money just to scrape our pockets for even more hard-earned cash. A trend and an unfortunate precedent taking place across all games right now. I wish I could say it was limited to Nintendo. Take two. Blizzard. Now, we could say that Mario Kart's pricing was a one-time mistake that Nintendo would learn from, but they didn't. In the recent Nintendo Direct to celebrate Mario's 40th anniversary, we got the announcement of Super Mario Galaxy 1+2, a remaster of both games. This was a Switch 1 release, and guess what they priced it at? $70. Yes, $70 for a remake of 2 Wii games. Not even a remake, pretty much just an upscale. Compare this to Super Mario 3D All-Stars released on the Switch 1 as well. This was a $60 release with 3 games. meaning each game equated to about $20 individually, which is an unsettling change to the average value of $35 if you buy this game pack. But that's not true either. If you want to buy one of these games separately, they cost $40 each.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.
That is some insane prices for Wii games. Hell, they were $20 for a majority of the Wii's life, the console they were actually made for. They also showed off 2 amiibo for Mario Galaxy. Amiibos are usually like $15, but these ones are worth $40 fucking dollars. I mean, they are bigger, but bruh, $80 for 2 pieces of plastic is damn near blasphemous. Speaking of amiibo, the accessories for this generation are horrible too. If you want more Joy-Con 2s, or god forbid yours get stick drift and you need new ones, they're going to run you $100. I'm not joking either, they are almost as much as an Xbox Elite controller with sticks that don't drift and tons of customizability. That's just crazy. If you don't like Joy-Cons and want a Pro controller, that's gonna run you $89. I guess it's better than Joy-Cons, but this isn't even what you would call a Pro controller. The only extra thing you get is 2 back buttons, so how much is it really worth? These are some overpriced ass controllers and it doesn't even stop there. The new Kirby amiibo for Kirby Air Riders are $50. Yeah, almost as much as games now. I get them having a higher price as usual as they are big and can swap, but $50? Way too much. And the Metroid Prime 4 amiibo, $40. All of these new amiibos are $40 to $50, and that is just not good. I know you don't need amiibos, but that doesn't mean they need to cost an arm and a leg. I remember a time when fans were super upset with the paywall associated with amiibos as they were introduced. Nintendo's come a long way, and unfortunately, not always in the right direction. Honestly, I could forgive all these flaws if Nintendo made the Switch 2 feel like a new generation, but they couldn't even do that. I was excited for the Switch 2 because for some reason I expected that we would have a new UI with new music and apps like the eShop getting redesigned. But no, it looks almost exactly the same as the Switch 1. The only real differences are rounded edges with colorful borders. Imagine yourself, a young kid at Christmas. Donkey Kong is your fucking hero and you can't wait to see what the next console is going to bring. You open your presents to reveal a new console, a brand new Switch 2 to replace your aged OG Switch. Then, you boot it up and sign in, ready for that elusive feeling which comes with a new console. Only to find out that you've been duped into playing the same console, something which fundamentally feels the same.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
We still haven't even got more themes than Basic Black and Basic White. A feature that would take 2 seconds to add has evaded us for 8 years. They could charge us for more themes and we would be happy. They could even make more money, which is what they seem so obsessed with right now considering all the pricing shit, and they can't even do that. Themes are a seemingly small but important feature. They just make your console feel personalized. This makes it feel like your Switch, not just a Switch. This new UI design just seems lazy and continues to lack anything that makes it unique. It's the same home screen, with the same problems we have had for 8 years if that point hasn't been driven into your head. The problem is not as important as the pricing, but combining them both makes Nintendo look incredibly distasteful. I'm sure you already know plenty about the Nintendo Ninjas. They take down fan projects that aren't even paid for, they're free, they shut down competitive tournaments that raised money for cancer, they will sue a fucking rock if it does anything they consider wrong. To avoid beating a dead horse, I only want to bring up something kind of recent. Nintendo dropped an app called Nintendo Today, where every day you get news or cool animations. This is simple and honestly sounds cool, but I'm guessing a lot of you haven't heard of it, or if you do, you probably know where this is heading. If anyone were to post anything from this app, Nintendo will copyright strike you. I'm not joking either. Recently, they had a weird animation released on YouTube with a baby messing with invisible shit. This video had a really high quality animation, may I add. Anyways, they released the finished version on Nintendo Today, where the invisible shit was revealed to be Pikmin. Many posted videos about this on YouTube to, help spread the word and make Pikmin grow as it should, but instead of leaving these videos up, Nintendo took them all down. How do you expect people to get Nintendo Today if they can't even see what gets posted on it? The point of these videos was to spread the word, and Nintendo couldn't fathom that. I want to mention again that Pikmin is a niche series, and Nintendo is deleting videos that for sure could help it grow. I mean, the animation looked amazing, but if there are any possible way Nintendo could lose money, they will smite that chance. Send it to a dark cavern where God couldn't even reach. The Nintendo Ninjas are playing with the fucking dark arts. Now, I know that was a lot of bitching, but can you blame me? I've been a Nintendo fan all my life, whether it was the Wii and the creativity Nintendo is flexing, or the beginning of the Switch with banger after banger. I love this company and its games. It's just sad to see the success getting to their head. They're becoming stagnant when they thrive on innovation. Even if the Switch 2 is just a new Switch, they could have done so much more, and they had a great start. The mouse mode on the Joy-Cons is brilliant. More power means games can look even better, and the system just feels like it has more quality. However, this console launch is soured by high prices, returning issues, and very stringent copyright practices. I want to love this console, but right now it feels like a fucking microwave. It just lives there. It gets the job done, but it can and should be so much more. Let's just hope they lock in for the rest of this generation. I guess we'll just have to wait to see. Am I wrong about the prices, and do you think they're actually good? Let me know what you think about this video down below. Anyways, it's been Swimpy, and I'm gonna go work on the next video. Goodbye.